Remember when we were told that we had to rush for that recovery shake after the workout? The belief was that our bodies are like sponges, eagerly soaking up nutrients in the period after a workout. But then suddenly the narrative changed. It was all about overall daily intake, not timing. Confused? You're not alone. Let's dig into the science to set the record straight. First up, replenishment. Carbohydrate availability is paramount to endurance performance. Being able to restock our muscle glycogen stores becomes increasingly important with an increased frequency of high-intensity carbohydrate sucking training. But is the post-workout window really the golden hour for replenishing those glycogen stores? In 2017, Burke and colleagues reviewed the literature and came to the conclusion that for restoring glycogen levels over 24 hours, eating enough throughout the day was more important than nutrient timing. They highlighted that consuming carbohydrates quickly after a workout can be helpful if you're doing multiple workouts in a day, or if you haven't eaten enough carbohydrates before or during the workout. But otherwise, consuming them immediately post-workout won't replenish your glycogen to any greater degree. What about protein? Does replenishing with protein post-workout improve your response to training? In 2017, Schoenfeld and colleagues compared strength, hypertrophy, and body composition between those who consumed 25 grams of protein pre-training and those who consumed the same dose post-training over the course of a 10-week resistance training cycle. Outside of training, their diets were controlled for. What did they find? There were no differences in muscle adaptations between those who consumed protein pre and post-workout. So it seems there's truth to the timing doesn't matter argument. What about signaling? Does consuming your recovery shake enhance the signaling processes involved in recovery? We had the renowned nutritionist Dr. Kyle Pfaffenbach on the Ask a Cycling Coach podcast. He told us that the recovery shake is not just about replenishment. It might be doing some secret magic behind the scenes.
A post-exercise drink is not your recovery. It is the initiation of recovery. The person that took the essential amino acids in the post-exercise state will have higher rates of protein synthesis at serial time points beyond that. So it's the start of recovery.
Your recovery shake activates signaling pathways like mTOR to drive muscle protein synthesis and ultimately enhance recovery and adaptations. How does your post-workout shake affect this pathway? The mTOR pathway is activated by insulin and amino acids such as leucine. So it all makes sense then. The carbohydrate protein mix we've been sold helps flip the switch into recovery mode by activating signaling pathways? Theoretically, yes. Rowlands and colleagues found that mTOR signaling did increase when participants consumed a drink mix containing protein and carbohydrate compared to when they consumed carbohydrate alone. And muscle protein synthesis increased by 33%. But signaling processes are hard to measure and not fully understood yet. In fact, the authors of this study suggested that the increased activation of mTOR probably wasn't fully responsible for the increase in muscle protein synthesis. So, is the post-workout recovery shake just another supplement that we don't need? Looking at the research as a whole, although certainly not critical, there may be a role for your post-workout recovery shake in optimizing recovery. So what does this look like for you? A 4-to-1 recovery drink when you get off the bike is a good place to start. 15 to 25 grams of protein is enough to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, and 60 grams of carbohydrate will trigger the desired insulin response. Making a habit to grab this as soon as you get off the bike will optimize signaling processes and contribute toward replenishing fuel sources. The best recovery shake won't do anything without a training stimulus that is optimized for you. Pair this nutrition strategy with a TrainerRoad training plan that adapts to your specific needs, and let's see what you're capable of.